So they're going to share some examples. They have a shared project across the enterprise as a whole with the Secure Service Edge, and implementing that with their agencies, really changing the culture of how we do different types of business functions and bring business value and secure our assets and move the needle forward in so many different ways. That for all of those that absolutely love, keep your hands up. All right. All those that love VPN, keep them up. Yeah.
Caesar would do that.
We've got one, and his opinion might be a joke. But,
No ugly babies.
Every audience that y'all talk with and work with, that's right. All my babies are pretty,
Of course,
and no ugly babies. But all the different audiences you work with, understanding where they're coming from, what their pain points are, how this helps them, is super important. When you talk to security, you're talking about the security benefits of moving to zero trust and getting to application level X, Y, or Z. In this example, talk to end users, you're like, that thing you have to toggle on and off all the time that you love so much?
Yep.
Yeah, it solves that. Isn't that great? So that explaining the why, it varies by audience. It's talking to leadership. What is the benefits? How you can be more efficient, more secure, less risk. So that's really appreciate the reflections there. Those are fantastic. It really goes to that ADKAR model a little bit there, right?
Yep.
Build the awareness. There's a lot of desire. I just saw a lot of desire in the room here a minute ago. Yeah, see, I got some OCM points there for a minute. That's great. But that desire to make a change, finding those reasons for that is fantastic.
We need to build a movement here. And how we are doing within ESE, I'm going to speak to that. And this is a real example, SSE, that we are working with people. We have commissioned a full-fledged enterprise portfolio project for SSE internally to be run with a full OCM management PM associated to it, to understand exactly the changes it's going to require for us to onboard this technology. Right, and this has helped us listen to each and every voice. You were mentioning earlier here too, right? Understand how it's going to impact people, how it's going to change the job role. So we are not only helping our agency move into taking this as a solution, but we also are helping people understand how it's going to change their jobs also, and how they're going to fit into the new roles. It's part of all our OCM strategy, which is why we onboarded this as a project in our agency, and it has, we have given back again. Our staff are running this project. They are championing the project. They are building the backlog, as you're saying. They're identifying all the business challenges that they are looking into and are facing with this technology. They're building full backlog around what's being taken care of, what needs to be done, and also partnering with WATEC and the vendor in helping understand where the gaps are. They're building a full runbook to themselves that this is for us to be successful in providing the services that we're going to be delivering at the end of the day. It's not about that this is going to eliminate our jobs, but again, we are giving people an understanding. This is how it's going to reshape the work within our agency, and this is what role you have to play in. It's again our whole strategy around full buyback from the sponsorship, and by leading this by a great sponsor and the PM and the SMEs, like Zach sitting here, he's leading the project for ESD from an SME perspective. They are tackling challenges every day, understanding and also solving and building that momentum within the teams, where when I was saying we saw the shift, give it to me today, right? Rather than where it was, a few months ago, we don't like it, we don't want change, right? They're adapting to it, it's always on, they're like, I love this thing right now. So yeah, we are utilizing all the tools at our disposal from a project management perspective, and they're working really well for us, so.
When we rolled out SSE, I really didn't go out to the network team and infrastructure team, and my leadership empowered me. We took 2 of our security team, and 3 months later, we're all on board. So, and then the first time it was 6 months, the second time it was 3 months. So ultimately, it's that small groups of teams that are empowered to make decisions can move very quickly, as long as you keep in mind that you don't need everybody to see the same thing you do and the same way you do. You just needed people that, the leadership and sponsorship, to empower you to move in the direction that indicated is good for the agency, and then you just move in that direction. So sometimes, yeah, I may have a lot of people that just don't like what I'm doing, and I'm completely okay with it.
But if you could address what you have experienced in partnership between agencies on projects versus the facade of partnership, what do you see as the keys to that being a real partnership that's driving that cultural change forward and that the larger theme of connected government forward?
I'd like to jump in on that. SSE, rolling out the product, has been a collaborative effort.
Yep.
And it's been one of the more collaborative efforts, along with the saw replacement, which I thought was also fantastically run. Everybody participating and building on what other folks have done. So it is not a silo. It is not about us versus them or me versus you. It's ultimately what do we learn collectively and how can we pass that knowledge on so that the next agency that's coming into the pipeline doesn't have to reinvent the wheel and discover everything that our groups have already discovered. So I think that's coming.
I paid him to say that, by the way.
Keith, anything to add on that space?
I mean, it's fair though. I mean, the SSE project and the saw replacement have both been excellent examples of collaboration. And the worst thing to happen to WATEC in the last year is now you've set the standard for how well you have to do projects going forward.
That's a great problem to have. You know,
Yeah,
because we can make such a more impactful difference to our shared constituents and residents and businesses, et cetera, in the state by working together in that way. It's been fantastic.
No, totally, and I would agree to that too. I think that's what another thing that resonated very well with our staff was that we have a seat at the table, right? Earlier we didn't used to, right? No offense, right? We have a seat at the table not only to craft a solution for our agency, but for the whole state here, right? We're gonna be the enablers here. We're gonna be learning from the lessons here, and so that every other agency can piggyback off that and don't repeat those mistakes. So, you know, and it's been a great partnership with Mark and Kelly. They are doing an amazing job of running this project. Thank you to you guys. You know, it's been a great journey, you know, and this transformation was really needed because of all the changing landscape we are in today. So, thank you.
And I want to point out there's other folks in the WATEC end, including Steve
Yep.
and Danielle, who've been very helpful in the process. So the collaborative nature has been very much appreciated from the agency.
Totally.
Yeah, and you know, just to add, we're here at Washington State IT Industry Forum, number 5. You remember from this morning, number 5, and they keep getting better. But we also couldn't. I mean, there's no way we could have ever dreamt of doing this without our industry partnerships. You know, we have fantastic partnerships that are really leaning in, understanding our use cases, and improving their products to meet our needs. If you were in the last panel, you heard Tim from Workday talk about unique additional functionality added to their portfolio to meet Washington State needs. Well, that's the same thing that we have here when we have good partnerships with industry to be able to lean in and say, hey, this is what Washington needs, and make it happen. To the place where they put a POP on the West Coast for us, a point of presence. So that really helps, and then that kind of partnership as well. So the partnership between agencies, partnership with our industry partners, and WWT in the mix as well there to really make things move forward. We appreciate all of it, because when we're together, we make those 15-month projects go in 3 months, right? And that's pretty exciting. 3 months in a week, I mean, yeah, we'll give you a little stuff from there. But with that, we're